Namaste. My name is Mika. Welcome to yoga live on Tuesdays. We're doing our Hatha yoga tonight, so I offer lots of modifications depending where you're at in your yoga journey with your body, maybe where you're at in this stage of your life. So it's a really nice time to explore that range of motion and that sense of place for you. If you have a yoga block, this might be useful for you tonight. I'll use mine, but I'll offer other modifications. And if you're a little bit off balance, you might be pregnant, not a yoga chair, just a normal chair will feel great for you. And just have that close by, and it's there if you need to grab onto it just to help yourself, rather than feeling like you might fall or trip or anything like that. So they're the props that we're going to use tonight. And let's begin in a comfy seated position, feeling your sit bones plugging down into the mat. As you sit a little taller in your spine, maybe take some rolls of the shoulders to bring yourself into this space. Deeply breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Smaller sense of space as we breathe out, feeling that breath, controlling that breath. And when you feel fine, settle into that breath in and out through the nose, pulling up through the crown of the head as you sit tall, feeling, imagining that space between the shoulders and the ears as you draw them down and away from your ears, your shoulders. Relax your hands on your thighs. And if it feels good to do so, just gently close your eyes here. Relaxing your chin a little if it feels nice to bow it down just a little bit. We're going to take some conscious breathing. Our pranayama is breath control. Bringing ourselves into this space and centering. Becoming a little bit more aware of what's happening in this practice. Deeply breathing in through the nose. Smoothly breathing out through the nose. Inhaling and exhaling. Engaging the breath with Ujjayi breathing. This is that hot yogic breath, fogging up the back of the nose and the throat like you're trying to fog a mirror, but while keeping your mouth closed. Allowing that breath to deepen and lengthen. And let's take our control of the breath a little further with some counted breathing. I'm going to count to 6 breaths on our inhale and on the exhale. We'll pause at the top and the bottom. So on your next exhale, smoothly control your air out through the nose and hold your breath at the bottom. Inhale with me for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Take your own count as you inhale for 6, taking your time, breathing deeply with Ujjayi breath, pausing at the very top. And then in your mind, take the exhale with the count of 6, pausing at the bottom. And just a couple more cycles here. the bottom of your next exhale, let go of the count and just return to natural breathing in and out through the nose, continuing with Ujjayi breath. How do you feel? And what do you notice about this sense of space that you have right now for yourself? What's coming to the surface? And acknowledge those emotions or those thoughts. And just hold them as good, whatever they are. This is your safe space for this practice. And gently, when you're ready, open your eyes, soften your gaze. Just take a little gentle breath with movement as you roll the shoulders in one direction. Ujjayi breathing. Change direction in the shoulders and drop the chin and gently roll your chin around to one side, stretching through the side of the neck. Breathing in as it lengthens and exhaling, rolling back to the center, down, and inhale to the other side. Take care with yourself. Take your time. Enjoy the slow roll of the neck in whatever way feels good. Either waking up your body in the morning or shaking out that day in the evening. And when you're ready, come back to neutral. Let's take a little more movement. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take the right hand down and stretch over to your right. Keeping those sit bones on the ground. Push back through the right hand. Lengthen that arm. Maybe roll the chest open, look up to the ceiling. Can you feel that stretch all the way from the hip joint up the lower back? Feel that range of motion that you have and lengthen that arm. A lot of us are kind of hanging, we're tight, so pull yourself up a bit to lengthen and stretch. Yeah, nice. Instead of collapsing the shoulder forward, try and roll the shoulder back and down away. Yeah, notice that the arm lifts a little bit there. Nice, getting that alignment to open and engaging the strength of the shoulder blade. Good. Inhale, lift up to the ceiling and exhale to the other side. Adjust yourself, push back into the hand, open the chest and roll the shoulder back and down. Lift a little higher to extend that arm. And then fold a little deeper if you can, keeping your sit bone in the mat. Relax the thighs and the knees. All these little tweaks of adjustment, just to feel that body where it is. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward, taking your hands down, relaxing your chin, your forehead. And just moving here side to side like you're swaying, just to check in with your lower back. Keep your sit bones on the ground. And then when you're ready, take your body over to the right. Nice deeper stretch and a little twist through the lower back. Taking your forehead over to the knee, but try not to reach there with your neck. The aim is not to place your head there, just to twist and fold. Doesn't matter where your range of motion is, just consider it. And then find your asana, your seat in the pose. Inhale back to center. Come up halfway, lengthen the spine first. Like to give a little wiggle here, open the back, and then come to the other side. Exhale and fold. Ujjayi breathing as you fold a little deeper, allowing the torso to sink heavier. Inhale back to center, looking up, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold, and see if you can fold a little deeper this time, allowing the hips there to open. And then on your next inhale, roll on up, reach up to the ceiling. Bring your hands to your heart center. Exhale. Swap the feet over or cross them the other direction. So we're going to stretch into the other side of the hip. Inhale, lift up, lengthen the spine. Do it with a smile. You're here, you're stretching, you're alive, and fold. Exhale. Beautiful. And maybe notice the other hip or the groin stretching a little more this time. Small movements, but deep stretches. Safe stretches. Inhale, reach up to the ceiling. And out through the mouth, breathe out, exhale, and take your hands down. Awesome. Coming into quadruped pose, table pose. Nice wide fingers whenever they're on the floor. Your index finger pointing to the top of your mat, and you want that external rotation of the hands as they're gripping the mat. And that's gonna roll your shoulder blades back and down. So really think of that kind of movement, rolling the shoulder blades back and down, and external rotation there. Awesome, we're gonna play with this today with some arm strength and some balances. Option is to stay here. Otherwise, we're gonna come into a full plank. So you can come into a full plank with me. If you're not in full plank, just take the knees back a little further than your hips and sink the pelvis into low plank. Crossing the feet and coming into your low plank, engage the shoulders. Otherwise, you're with Chris in full plank here. We're gonna exhale, come down halfway into our chaturanga, using the strength of your arms, trying to get your arms in a 90-degree angle. Push the shoulders back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, push back up. Good. At any point, you can come back to table. I'm gonna come to our full plank. I don't know if I can do a full plank one. Let's try one more time. Squeeze the glutes together, push the shoulders back. Exhale, come halfway. Straight into our strength work. And then on the exhale, push up. Oh, that was really hard. Come back to table pose. Knees are under hips. Lift your arms up to the ceiling. Release the hands. Have a little stretch. Roll out the wrists. And then take your hands out by your side. So kind of when we first add load, especially to these little joints that we have, it feels really heavy. I'm gonna do the same exercise a little later and see the difference in how your body feels as it warms. When you're ready, come back to table pose. Let's extend the left leg out behind us, toes pointing down to the ground. Imagine your flat, extended foot is pushing against a wall. So you want that strength in the extended leg. When you're ready, exhale, take the knee to elbow. As you squeeze the knee forward, push up through the hands, round the shoulders, and hollow the chest cavity. Good. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, squeeze. As you squeeze, engage your pelvic floor. Squeeze the perineum. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, squeeze again. Push up. External rotation. Open jars with your hands. Inhale, extend the leg. And take it down. Good. Other side. Inhale, extend the right leg. Push up through the hands. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, knee to elbow. Push up, round the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Last one, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Knee back to the floor. Lift up, release the hands, reach up. And exhale, bring your hands together and just roll out the wrists. Roll them around, change direction. Nice, warming up. Okay, that option is yours. You can do exactly the same thing. Feel good, feel strong, feel supported. Otherwise, full plank with me. Option is here. Otherwise, the other option is here. Let's create strength. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze your pelvic floor, push up through your hands. Externally rotate, grip the mat with your fingertips. When you're ready, lift the left leg up. Breathe. Ujjayi breath. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Push up through the hands. Inhale, lengthen. With the breath, exhale, squeeze. Good. Inhale, squeeze, exhale. Inhale, take the knees down. Everybody come up. Inhale, lift the hands. Shake them out. Come back to your plank. Inhale to plank. And then when you're ready, exhale, lift that leg. Find your alignment on your inhale. Squeeze your pelvic floor and squeeze the right knee to the right elbow. Push up through the hands. Inhale, lift the leg straight. Exhale, squeeze. Take your modification where you need. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. I think that's 3. Is that right, Chris? And then take the knees down. Nice. Inhale, lift the hands up. Are you feeling like dead arms like me? Yes. Round the shoulders here. But instead of big loops, we're going to shorten the lever. And these are really cool terms that I kind of start teaching people, is what you can do by shortening levers. That's a really long lever. And if you feel this movement, it feels really big. And I find that I get this tightness pulling when I get to about here in my range of motion. And it's a lot more weight. So shorten the lever and feel the difference. Feel the control you get. Yeah, and so much more mobility access in the joint. So really nice things. If you've had a long day or you're at your desk, I don't know, I know Pete's like, he's a landscaper. So if you've just been shoveling and moving soil all day, like this is so good. So good. And shake it out. Nice, guys. So those little things, little tweaks and things. Okay, side planks. We love them. Yeah, we do. So when we come into our side planks, first let's start with our right knee on the ground. If it's your left, that's fine. And extend the left leg out to the side. Your wrist is a little more in front of your right shoulder rather than directly under it. You want to push back through that shoulder joint to give you more stability. And that shoulder rotates out and down. So think of that joint. Align yourself there to protect your shoulder and your neck, and bring your left hand to your hip. Roll that shoulder back and down. If this feels good just here, hold and take it here. Otherwise, lift the left arm up, look to the fingertips, and breathe here. Squeeze the hips forward, squeeze your pelvic floor, and put strength in the extended leg. Nice. From here, push up through that right hand and take the left foot off the floor, pushing the flat foot into a wall. Yes, you want to dorsiflex the toes. That means extend them. Dorsiflex, fancy words, Mika. Breathe, lift up. Feel your right hip working for you. And again, exhale, left knee to left elbow. See if you can tap and extend. Whew, warming up, beautiful. Exhale, squeeze, tap, extend on the inhale. Exhale, squeeze and tap. Inhale, lengthen. And then take the foot down and come back to table pose. Breathe. Now you know that we're going to do this in this modification. And then the option will be to do it as a full plank if you feel. Okay, so we'll work there. This time, left knee is on the ground, right leg extends. Good. Squeeze the hips forward, take your hand to your right hip, and check that left shoulder is rolling back and down. Engage the crunch in that left side of the body. Breathe here. Extend the right hand up. Squeeze the pelvic floor. We call it the Mula Bandha in Sanskrit. It's the root squeeze or tension. Good. Straighten and strengthen that right leg. Breathe here. And your option is to lift the right leg. Feel the hips working for you. Strengthen that leg. Flat foot like you're pushing into a wall. On your next exhale, squeeze knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Nice, guys. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. And take the foot down. Come back to table pose. Whew. Let's drop the belly for a cow stretch. Inhale, look up to the ceiling. Push the shoulders away from the ears. And just breathe here for a few breaths. I like to move a little back and forth just to allow my back to open. You can waggle your tail, whatever feels good. Find your movement. And counter stretch, roll the shoulders, tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest, cat stretch. A few breaths here. And find that movement again if it feels nice to rock back and forth. Pause and hold, your choice. With the breath, inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale. And exhale. On your inhale, rise on up to the ceiling. Reach up with your hands. And exhale with a smile. Beautiful. Take your right hand out in front and stretch back through the fingertips. Good. And take the fingers down, stretch across the top of the wrist. Give it a little squeeze. It can feel really nice to kind of squeeze against those little metatarsals. Carpals are feet, tarsals are, oh no, carpals or tarsals? I'm gonna look that up, I can't remember. Carpals? We think carpals. Maybe we take a vote. Swap hands. Swap hands. We don't need to argue about this. This is the fun that Chris and I have. Anatomy class, trying to figure it out and shake it out. So, same drill. You take the option for you, whether that's going to be with your leg extended or whether you're going to be joining me in the full stretch, this kind of action. Okay, so options, of course, adjust for yourself and drop into the, other modification if it suits. So when you're ready, take your right knee to the ground first, extend the left leg, find your position, pull the hips forward, tuck the tailbone under, hand to hip, and then when you're ready, take your right foot into full plank. If you feel like doing that, push up through the hand. You really want to activate that right side of the body. Take the left hand up. On your exhale, extend the left leg if that feels safe. And then exhale, squeeze, elbow to knee, balance. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, strengthen. Inhale, try doing this while giggling. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. Come back into full plank or low plank. Inhale here. And change over to the other side, whether you take your knee there or you come into a full side plank with me. When you're ready, on your next exhale, raise the right foot up. Breathe in, lengthen the body. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, slow it down. Exhale. Inhale. Come back to full plank or low plank. An option is to take your chaturanga, which is that halfway chest down. Arms are at a 90-degree angle. You can take it to your knees and push up through the hands. Come back into child's pose. Knees a little wider than hips. Push the body back, release the strength off your arms. Forward to the mat. Take a few breaths here. Nice, guys, well done. A few calming breaths.
using that Ujjayi breath to massage the back, the nose and the throat. You have a nerve there called the vagus nerve, connected to your central nervous system. So what that does for the body is brings those alarm bells down, helps to ease and settle the body. This kind of breathing is really helpful in your daily life as well. Not that you probably want to do this in a staff meeting. Be the one using your Ujjayi breath. I mean, you could go for it, see what they say. It's like a fire breath, right? And gently come back onto your knees. Nice, guys. We're going to come into some jazzy hip mobility here. We haven't even gotten up off the floor yet. We're just on the floor. So I'm going to position my feet on the mat. If you're on carpet, that's great. If you're not on carpet, this can be strong on your knees. So it's nice to have your mat like this position, because what we're going to do is, I'm just going to demonstrate. So we're going to use this kind of angle to tilt ourselves down, and you can test, you want your knees to land on the mat, because we're going to lift like this. If you don't have any mat under your knees, on tiles or wood, it could be a little strong. Okay, so if you want to test, get yourself into position. Feet need to come out, I guess, like you're balancing in a Navasana position, a boat position. So have yourself here, hold yourself up if that feels good. Support yourself with your hands behind you. And let's create some hip mobility just by windscreen wipering your legs. You can lift yourself up and just go side to side here, testing what your hips are doing, trying to relax your knees down to the floor. If you've done any hip recovery work with physios, they might have shown you this kind of exercise. All about pelvis mobility. So feel that and kind of check that your knees are landing on your mat in this kind of position. What do you notice? Does it feel tight already? Or does it feel great? Breathe. And then come back to neutral. Now I think that's a really good gauge, because once you start doing this, you can see where your feet land, how wide they are, how much more forward they are to the body, and then kind of check in and notice that. So when we come back to this pose, you know where your body aligns. So where your feet are in line with your knee, in line with your hips. Is that your position? Yeah, so my feet, for me, to get full range of motion, are wider than my hips. So it's just like that kind of alignment check. Now we use it with your core. Options is to support yourself on the floor. Otherwise, bring your hands out, shoulders down. Nice. On your exhale, roll to one side, and with the strength of your quads and your glutes, lift up. You can adjust your feet. I like to flatten my back foot as I pull my hips forward and lift the arms tall. Squeeze the hips forward as well as pull the pelvis under. I don't know if you can notice, I've got quite an accentuated curve, so you can really see me tuck that pelvis under. You're gonna use those hip flexors way more. So turn them on, lift those arms tall, try not to like squeeze and hold tension. And then exhale, bring the shoulders and the arms out in front of you as you lower. Come back to center, inhale in center. Exhale to the other side. Lift. Lean into it. If it feels good to back bend here, you can. Exhale, come down, control. Woo. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Exhale, come down, and just take it with the breath. Feeling that control. Of course, use your hands if that feels good for you. Inhale, take it slow. Exhale.
Inhale, feel your core swapping over. Exhale, lift. Inhale here. Exhale, come down. We'll do the final side. Inhale at center. Exhale, lift. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Come back to center. Inhale. And take the legs out wide. Woo! How'd you go, Chrissy? Good. Take the legs out nice and wide. Don't have to split yourself. You don't want to do any painful stuff. So kind of wiggle into it, you know, get your hips and open up your glutes so you feel your sit bones on your mat. As much as you can, grabbing onto the back of your thighs, your knees, or your calves, pull your chest forward. You want a nice, flat, neutral spine. So instead of rounding my spine like this, I'm pulling forward and flattening my spine. Feet are dorsiflex. Can you see my toes pull towards my face? Inhale, lengthen, and this might be where you stay. This feels good already. Option, exhale, fold, pulling down gently as you feel those hamstrings stretch. You can slide your hands down. Now my spine is bending. On the inhale, flatten the spine. Lifting your heart up, and exhale, fold. Beautiful. Inhale here. And exhale, just relax the torso forward and down. Engage the legs, try not to turn them off. You want the quads to be engaged, so push your knees into the floor and imagine those quads drawing up from your knees. We want control in the legs rather than hyperextending in the hips because they're turned off. So it's always this yin and yang. Something is working to support something else. And generally in movement, like sports that you just respond in, like football or running, netball, tennis, you're not controlling your muscles as much as we are right now. You're responding in action. So this is kind of treating the body in a practice of response to something else and being aware of it. So it's a really conscious time to connect in and explore that for yourself. Inhale, lengthen the spine, come back up. Take a breather and bring the legs in gently. Take your hands back and shake them out. Beautiful, guys. All right, when you're ready, let's come to downward facing dog. I like to find my dogs by coming into a full plank. So find your full plank and then exhale, push back. Generally a good distance for your downward facing dog. And I invite you to walk your dog. It's a full body stretch. Pushing back through the hands. Keep your knees slightly bent or soft as you shake your tail feather up to the ceiling. Pushing back through the hands and then relaxing your heels down towards the ground. Find stillness in your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Ujjayi breathing as you exhale. We'll take 5 breaths here. This is an inversion. Most definitions of inversions or upside down poses is when your brain is below your heart. A lot of benefits with that for your circulation, for the challenge of your body changing direction. And if you think about it, when was the last time you were upside down? Something very playful to allow the body to respond here like this. Bend your knees slightly, look between the hands and just slowly, controlled, walk the feet all the way to the top of the mat in between your hands. Feet are as wide as your hips, even a little wider if that feels better. Bending the knees here. Bring your hands to your knees, flatten your spine as you lift yourself halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Lengthen the spine, imagine a string pulling you through the top of the head. Straighten the legs, engage the quads. And then exhale, fold with your legs engaged. Inhale, roll the spine, reach up to the ceiling. Urdhva Namaskarasana, greet your day or your evening. Exhale, mountain pose, relaxing your hands by your sides. Roll the shoulders back and down and bring yourself into Vrikshasana or tree pose. Option is to use your chair. Otherwise, push your left foot into the mat as you squeeze your right foot into your thigh, above your knee or below your knee. Just don't push on the knee. We don't want to kind of kink that out of place. So find your alignment, find the gaze point to focus on, lengthen through your posture, bring your hands to your hips, roll the shoulders back and down, open your heart to the experience, and bring your hands into Namaste, honoring where you are in your practice, in your life, and in the ancient tradition of this experience, this practice. If you feel good here, open your hands up to the ceiling. And if you can still balance, squeeze your pelvic floor, straighten that leg that's on the ground and look up to the ceiling. Breathe here. On your exhale, bring your hands back to your heart center. Take your right leg out in front of you. This is where I love the wide angle lens. Now you can stay here. Your glute is working for you. You're just balancing. Otherwise, left hand to hip, and with your index and middle finger, grab onto your big toe. Yes, as you do this, you want to lift the right hip up. So you're bringing that up first rather than thinking you're ever going to extend the leg out. You want that stretch to happen in the pelvis between your left and your right hip. So your leg is coming out to the side a little bit. Yeah, feel the knee go out. Yeah, engage that leg, breathe here. Roll the shoulders back and down. And as you exhale, imagine your ribs are knitting together. You want to engage your core. You can stay here. Otherwise, without aiming to straighten your leg fully, just push into the hand to maintain this alignment, to keep that straight line. Keep the knee lifted. If your leg fully extends, awesome. You don't want your spine to change. Breathe. Leg looking nice and long there, Mick. And then bend the knee, bring it back to center. Release it with your hand. If your fingers were aching, so were mine. Peace to you. Hand to your hip, roll the shoulders a few times, and take the foot down. Shake out the left leg. Nice. How'd you go? Everyone looking good. Everyone's like, oh, yeah. Me too. When you're ready, find your other side. This time my right leg is planting down, or your opposite leg. Take the other leg out to the side gently. Lift tall. Engage the quad, lifting that kneecap up. And take the foot into the inner left thigh. Squeeze it in there. You want to push that in. Yes. Find that gaze point. And with Ujjayi breathing, breathe into it. Rolling those shoulders, relax them. We hold so much tension here when we're balancing. Yin and yang, theme of the class, to find those negatives and release them with the positives. Good. Bring your hands to your heart center. Smiling in your tree pose. Feeling softness through the body as you balance. And if you feel ready, gently lift the arms up to the ceiling. Lengthening through the spine, but also softening the shoulders. Try not to bring the arms so close that they round forward as you squeeze. You want space in the shoulders to roll back and down as you lengthen. So make those adjustments. Nice, I see you, you know. Nice. If you can, take your gaze to the ceiling. Feel what that does for your balance. Always playing with that yin and the yang. Bring your hands back to your heart center and take your eye gaze back to your drishti or back to the focus point. Right hand to hip. Peace sign. Bring those 2 fingers to the big toe and take that hip out to the side. Option, you can stay here just by bringing your left foot up and holding in your single leg stance. Otherwise, stretching through the right and the left hip here. So bring that knee out and lifting the joint up as you lengthen the spine tall. And with your Ujjayi breath, exhale, cinching the ribs together, drawing your pelvic floor and feeling your transverse abdominis, the inner core switch on. Yeah. Roll those shoulders back and down. Breathe. And as you exhale, take your foot out a little way while keeping this alignment. Now noticing my left side for me is way tighter in the hamstring. Both sides of your body are never the same. So you want to keep your alignment tall as you push that foot in as far as you can while keeping your alignment tall rather than bending to straighten. Keep the knee bent and keep the lift in your posture. Nice. Breathe. Keep the legs switched on. If it's burning, you can follow Chris and just take your foot out in front of you. Otherwise, on your exhale, bend the knee. Release the foot. Bring your hands to your hips. And take it to the ground. Shake out that right leg. How'd you go? Lots of good shake out feet. Nice, guys. You're working so well. Okay, like I promised, we want to compare the strength in our shoulders now that they're really warmed up and open. Let's come back to our drills, strengthening and lengthening. I'll meet you in downward facing dog. So take your time, find your plank, lift the hips on your exhale, push back to downward dog. Good. Let's bring the feet together. Your option is to stay in downward dog. Otherwise, bring your big toes to touch. On your next exhale, let's take the right leg up into a 3-legged dog. Spread the toes and point the ankle as you lengthen and feel that deep stretch through the left hamstring. Bend the knee and then lift your right knee to the sky so that your pelvis tilts open and you can see your left foot under, so your right foot under your left armpit. You should be able to see it there. Keep raising that right knee up to the sky and push back through the hands. Deep stretch through the side of the body and through the twist here. If you're pregnant, try not to twist open. Just keep extending that right leg. I probably should have said that, Noosh, sorry. Just extend the leg out straight if you're pregnant. Sorry. You're not pregnant, Chris, so stick with it, Chris. Everyone, inhale, straighten that right leg to the sky and take it down to the ground. If you want to rest in child's pose here, you can. Otherwise, come back to downward facing dog. Your big toes are together. And when you're ready, raise the left leg up to the sky. Breathe here, feel the stretch. Point the ankle and spread the toes. Push back through your hands. External rotation of those arms. I know they're tiring. Feel that strength. And then bend the left knee. Lift the left knee to the sky, tilting your hips open. And you can check, is your left foot, can you see it under your right armpit? Push back through your hands.
Good strength, guys. And then inhale, raise that left leg up to the sky. Back to downward facing dog, exhale. Take the knees to the mat and lift the upper body up. Inhale, reach the hands to the sky. And side out through the mouth, exhale. Take your hands by your side. Beautiful. Woo, woo, jazzy shoulders tonight. Options, guys. The option here is to keep yourself in table pose as you extend the leg and as you do your 3 drills. So this is a straight kind of plank to knee. If you're with me, you'll be in full plank and doing your crunch, okay? So when you're ready, come into table pose. If you want to extend into full plank, join me. Inhale, lengthen and externally rotate the shoulders. Exhale, we lift the left foot up. If you're on your knees, you do the same. Exhale, left knee to left elbow, squeeze, push up through the hands. Inhale, extend the leg, there's 2 more. Exhale, squeeze. Beautiful. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. And come back to full plank or knees to the mat. Holding your planks. This is all the way if you're with me. On your next exhale, extend the right leg. Good. Inhale first. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Last one, exhale. Inhale. And take your feet and your knees down. Knees a little wider than your hips. And step back into child's pose or lean back into child's pose. Take a moment here. I don't know if you could hear, but the rain is happening here. Really having, thanks Chris. It was going, wasn't it? Again, check in with yourself. How do your shoulders feel? Using that Ujjayi breath to calm the state of the body now. Feel everything soften with that breath. On your next inhale, come up onto your knees, reach up to the sky. If it feels good, lean back a little bit here. And then take your hands up by your side. Coming into our final side planks. Yeah, you know it. Lifting up into your low side plank, keeping the knee there. We're going to be crunching 3 of these on both sides. We're not going to take a rest in between. We're just going to swap. And on your next exhale, come into full plank if you feel like taking that version. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, lift the left leg. Push back through the hand. When you're ready, exhale with me, knee to elbow. Balance. Inhale, extend. You've got this, guys. Exhale, squeeze. Good. Ring it out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. And then to full plank, or take both knees down to the ground. Come into a full plank forward facing. And then come to the other side on your inhale. Good. On your exhale, squeeze right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale, slow it down. Exhale. Inhale. Come back to forward facing plank or into table pose. Final part is our chaturanga. So come halfway down, bringing your chest down towards the ground, and then push up through the shoulders. Exhale to child's pose. Taking the body down over itself, forward to the mat. And release. Ujjayi breathing. Letting everything turn off and soften. You did so great. Whatever motion of the body worked for you or didn't work, you tried. And it's so great that we get to try. That's what this life is all about. So I applaud you for trying, for being here, and for working with your body and your breath. And when you feel okay, gently come up. We're going to come into our finishing poses and then our Shavasana, our relaxation. So bring yourself onto your bottom. Oh, if you feel floppy, great. Give into the floppiness. We've been like posing, you know, posturing. So give that floppiness of the body. Let's take our legs over to the right. You're coming into a side seat. So you want to stack your right foot on top of your left foot like so. And you will be leaning on the left hip. My right hip is off the mat as I sit in this pose. Lift up through your spine. Again, posture. But what's so nice about this posture is that we're going to twist over to our left. If you're pregnant, don't twist deep. Just gently open, breathe. Whereas the rest of us, we can leverage this. So with the strength of our right hand on our thigh, pull against it for the twist. Roll the shoulders back and down and look over your left shoulder. A few breaths here. And then keeping the twist, take your gaze over your right shoulder, just stretching through the neck. Nice. Just to give it a little bit of a ease there. A lot was done on our shoulders today. And with your gaze to the right, untwist yourself as you exhale. Soften yourself. Take your feet over the other side. You hear my toe crack all the time? Really, really creaky toe. If you were in KL doing yoga with me for years, before any Zoom started, you may remember that creaky left toe of mine. Every yoga class would be so quiet and then you'd just hear my toe snap. I don't know if you remember that, Nick, or Amy, I don't know. Yeah. Lift tall in your posture. Take your body over to the right, gentle here. Feel the sense of space. This might be enough. Otherwise, leverage the twist, stretching a little more over to the right, taking your gaze over the right shoulder. Lengthen, open the chest, sit tall. Shoulders are back and down. And then gently take your gaze over to the left. Feel that nice twist in the neck. And in the direction of your gaze, allow the body to unravel. So good. Happy baby pose. Gently with me, you can either flop back and do your thing, otherwise, like Chris, otherwise control yourself down. Slowly, vertebra by vertebra, lower your body down to the ground. Taking your back down. And then on your exhale, lift your feet up to the ceiling. Your arms come in between your thighs as you latch on to the outer edges of your feet with your hands. And just roll around like a little baby, massaging your back on the floor. Maybe stretching your heels more open and up, or bringing them close together and pulling them in towards you. Play with that range of motion in your hips, in your groin. And breathe here. Trying to pull those shoulders down to the mat. And as you do that, notice
the stretch is deeper in your hamstrings and your hips. And gently lower your heels, but catch your knees in your hands. And like a frog, rotate your legs or your knees around in the hip joint. So spiraling in one direction, and then change the direction, rotating the other way. Now, if you practice yoga a lot and you love doing headstands, this is a really good time to do a headstand before Shavasana. So I give you that option in your practice to take yourself there if you want to go to a wall or just practice your headstand. I know some of you do that. So if you want to play with a headstand, you can. Otherwise, I'm going to allow you to come into Shavasana and just bring yourself into this kind of pose. It'll be nice and quiet if you're playing with headstands. Nice. Take your time as you headstand. Use your Ujjayi breath. If you're inverting yourself, push up through the elbows. Draw the elbows towards each other in your headstand. Use your pelvic floor. Point through the toes and squeeze the thighs. Great, Michaela. Beautiful headstand. Otherwise, gently close your eyes here. Allow your shoulders to soften. Take your feet a little wider than your hips. And just allow your body to melt with your breath. And if you're exiting headstand, slowly, controlled, and just come to child's pose after your headstand. Nice. Allow your neck to readjust and the blood to flow back. Just imagine that breath as you exhale. You're melting a little further away. Feeling your hands, your arms, your back, your body disappear. If you're in child's pose, just find yourself into a Shavasana state, however that feels for you, either on your back or lying on your side. And we'll take about another 10 cycles of breath here, enjoying the space of rest, of peace, relishing in the lack of effort. Just being right here.
Give your mind a rest. Calm down and do your best. Become one in the eyes of love, seeking God above when solely inside, it's solely inside. Slow down and give your mind a rest. Calm down and do your best. Become one in the eyes of love, seeking God above when solely inside, solely inside.
Slowly going to bring us out of Shavasana. If you feel good here to just leave Zoom and be in this space for yourself, you can. Or mute your audio. Otherwise, I'm going to bring us back gently, maybe turning the palms of your hands face down on the ground, feeling the floor beneath you. Taking a more conscious inhale, filling your body with air, with prana, that dependent life force around us that we need. Sighing it out, feeling the body change in its movements, being aware of that change. Inhale, feel the expansion in the body. And sighing it out through the mouth, feel it decrease and melt like it's floating here. Inhaling deeply, sighing it out smoothly. Inhaling, maybe bringing your hands above your head and taking a little gentle stretch through the body, pointing your toes, maybe rotating your ankles. And if it feels nice, to bring your hands to your forehead or your eyes and just stroke your face awake, maybe massaging around your eyebrows, around your temples, cheeks, around the back of your neck. Maybe drawing your feet into the body, having your feet flat on the mat so that your knees are lifted, and then just gently rolling onto one side in a little fetal position if you're not there yet. And gently taking your time to sit up if that feels good. And finding that comfortable seat. We didn't end up using the blocks today, but if you have one, I invite you to sit on it like a little seat. As it raises your hips above your knees, it makes sitting in a more open position a little more comfortable, a little more access to expand. And just soften the gaze as you arrive here, rolling the shoulders back and down, sitting a little taller as we take some final breaths. Try and release that tension in your shoulders. Inhale, lift up, breathe in, reach to the sky. Hold your breath at the top. And then while you're holding, see if you can suck in a little more effort and a little bit more air as you breathe in. Feeling that tight squeeze and sigh it out through the mouth. Just let it out. Nice. Inhale again, lift, hold your air. Hold your breath, hold your air, same thing. Suck in a little more. And exhale. Bringing your hands to your heart center. Thank you for the pleasure of your company and for your effort in this practice. Namaste. Thank you guys for practicing with me. Look forward to next week.